So today we're going to talk about timing gears on a grey or a red motor. You're with Jules Knight on Jive Talking Garage. So on the grey motor, we've got the harmonic balancer, and behind that we've got the gears for the crank and the cam, which run the timing gears, and they're hiding behind this cover, timing cover seal, it's in there, harmonic balancer, and then we've got our timing gears that are inside there. So recently on one of the Holden sites, I was seeing some poor guy that had pulled up by the side of the road to do his second timing gear. So I've broken a timing gear probably about 3 months after I bought my FJ Ute, and then I thought I broke a timing gear on my HD X2, but I actually didn't. So the timing gear itself, you've got timing gears that sit behind the harmonic balancer that drive the cam and the crank, and when you put them together and slide the timing gear on, you've actually got to match up two dots together to get the timing right. So for the grey motor, there's an early timing gear with 4 spokes in it, and then they've moved to a more solid type, which is obviously the same type that they have with the red motor. So in my case, on Easter Sunday of 1982, I just bought my FJ the previous Christmas Eve, so I'd had it probably 3-4 months. I was coming back from the Gold Coast with my friends Carl and Linda that we were sponsoring the emigration from America, and I got as far as nearly to Oxenford, and I just lost all power in the car, and the car just turned itself off, and the 2 warning lights on the FJ just popped on, and that was it. So I pulled off to the side of the highway, and I turned the ignition on, hit the starter button, and the engine just spun over really, really quickly. I'm thinking, oh, I don't know what the matter was here. Anyway, I had stripped the fibre gears, but it was only where they made contact. So it was probably, 1/10 of the circumference of the gear that I'd actually stripped, and it's only through age and whatever. So I just got towed home, and then got all the the tools that I needed, the harmonic balancer removal tool from the Brains Trust at the time, and then took the grill off, took the radiator out, and here I am as an 18-year-old kid thinking, oh, this is the end of the earth and I should just be selling this car and getting rid of it. But I need not have worried, because everyone's got to learn. So grill off, radiator out, harmonic balancer off, timing cover off, new timing cover seal and so on readily installed, and gasket kit for it and all that sort of thing. You got to break the fibre gear off so that you can actually put a puller on it and pull that external core off, and then fuel pump off so you can get a cox head and knock it on. So while we're at it, that's what the harmonic balancer tool for removal looks like. You can see it's a threaded nut that goes on the inside of the harmonic balancer, and then you literally just screw it off the motor and it just pulls it off. But when you're putting it on, that's why you need this is called a cox head, COX-HEAD, and you put that on the frisbee and then you're knocking that on. So this is a bit like a steel drift. When you do that, it is advisable to remove fuel pump and also leverage it forward as you're hitting the shaft backwards, so as not to put the back of the shaft into a damaged position. But anyway, that's how you put it on. The red motor is same, just a different part number. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same construction, same configuration, and it's a case of the difference is it has a different distributor, and that can be confusing at times. So with my FJ Ute, when I thought it was the timing gears, it actually was no issue there at all. So I repaired it, got it on the road. Took me a few days to figure it all out, to take advice from friends and the Brains Trust, and just basically do what I was told. So when I got my HDX2, I was with a friend of mine, Don Woodford, and we were going to a swap meet, and we got as far as Windsor from my little place at Sunnybank Hills. So we'd just gone through the city at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and precisely the same thing happened. And I thought, oh, here we go. I've broken a timing gear in my red motor. So that was a 179X2. But I was wrong. The timing gear was fine. The problem was I actually stripped some gears off the bottom of the distributor. So, and that was with a red motor. So with the grey motor, this is the that is the grey motor Bosch distributor, and you can see where the gears are here. The gears are here, but on a red motor, they're down the bottom, and they're just knocked on with that little pin. So when that happened to me, two things happened. One of our Jive Talkers, Mark Faulkner, was on the phone to me as he lived in Rockhampton at the time. You know, we were building power stations together. So he was the engineer and I was the commercial guy. And I was talking to him on the phone this one Sunday, and I said, oh, yeah, look, it's doing this. It did this yesterday. You know, it's a timing gear, blah, blah, blah. And I'm on the phone. I'm actually talking to him on the phone while I'm fixing the car, doing diagnosis and analysis of the car. So we're talking 1991. Anyways, long story short, Mark said to me, look, before you take the harmonic balancer off, why don't you check the distributor? Because it could be the distributor. So this is very similar. This is a Falcon electronic distributor for a Windsor V8, but same thing applies. You know, on the red motor, these gears are closer to the top, and yeah, there's a pin there that you put them on with, but and knocked them on. And he made a really good comment to me, and he said, these gears could be sheared off, and that could give you the same problem, or the same problem, but give you the same symptoms of the timing gear being stripped. So the quick thing to do was to undo the one bolt on holding the distributor in place, take the distributor out, and sure enough, I was missing cogs. I was missing teeth on the bottom of the distributor shaft, because that's driving the oil pump. And so I rang Tony Manganaro. Tony said, yeah, look, I've got one. Why don't you just bring a nail and a hammer, and where the little hole is there, just knock that one out, take the gear, knock yours out, put it in, or I'll do it for you, whatever. Anyway, so I did that. I brought it home. I knocked mine out. I put the new one on. I put it straight in, and that was it. I was able to get on my merry way. But it could have been such that, you know, here I would have pulled the whole front off the car and the motor, and as it was, I already taken the grill out of the HD. but I didn't need to, because here I was thinking it was a timing cover, and it wasn't. It was actually the drive gears on the oil pump drive gears on the bottom of the distributor. So that's the tale of the harmonic balancer, timing gears, and the problems that you can have when you stripped, or you think you have stripped a timing gear. But with a later model engine, it could very well be that you stripped the gears, the drive pump gears on the bottom of the distributor. So hope you've liked that little tale about what can go wrong when you least expect it, and it turns out to be something that was different to what you originally thought. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, but more importantly, enjoy your Holden.